Good evening and welcome back to Let's Settle It. As always, I'm your host, Stephen Carlton. Tonight's topic is perhaps one of the most controversial issues in the United States, the legalization of marijuana. I am joined by Sarah Johnson, a marijuana activist, and Secretary of Senator Jeff Sessions' friend, Catherine Wells. Ladies, thank you for joining us tonight. And I wanted to start by asking you, Sarah, where do you see the direction legalization takes over the next couple of years? We've had Maine legalize marijuana. New York's pretty strict, especially with the medical. California, it's constantly being brought up in the polls. So where do you see the legalization direction? Like, where is it going?
I have a question. Do you hear that in the distance? It's choo-choo. It's the marijuana train. It's time to it's Mary Jane train. Let's go. We're on it. Our country is coming around to terms with this great epidemic, the weed epidemic. Everybody's starting to accept it. It's the more stubborn states that we see will take a little bit more time. But there's no way with all the benefits that it's proved to have that it won't happen. It's probably within the next upcoming years, maybe the next president.
But we have President Trump, right, Catherine? So he is hard Republican. He has Senator Jeff Sessions possibly as Attorney General. So with that in office, what do you think? What's going to happen?
President Donald Trump and Jeff Sessions, our Attorney General, are going to crack down on this epidemic. And it is an epidemic because the children are smoking weed, they're skipping class,
yeah, they are.
They're murdering people, and the Republican Party will not take it anymore. Pharmaceutical companies that we need for our economy are gonna interfere with this. Weed does not mean medicine, and more than half of the country agrees. And Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General,
right,
who I work with,
right,
says,
what's your job?
Well, the states have power too, so don't you think the states
rights mean nothing? When has anything?
They do mean something.
Maine can just secede into the ocean. We don't need these hippy-dippy states up in the North Atlantic.
Well, Maine doesn't need to get on the Mary Jane train.
But Maine is on the Mary Jane
What was the last thing Maine contributed? Like the Revolutionary War? A bakery, maybe?
When's the last time Donald Trump contributed anything?
President Donald Trump is making big changes into that. I would say that he is accomplishing more than any other president. It's only
America
been
baked again.
100 days. His approval ratings are through the roof. And
are they?
Yeah. Look.
Ladies, let's stick to marijuana. Let's not focus on Trump. I want to stick to marijuana. We're going to move on to the next question. Medical benefits. Even though it's been proven to show medical advantage, as I said, there are disadvantages of marijuana, in particular if we see it legalized on a nationwide scale. Sarah, I'm going to once again toss this to you because I know Kat's going to want to jump in. What are the disadvantages of marijuana? Even though you're an activist, there must be some kind of issue with it. But
I guess the biggest disadvantage of marijuana, Mary Jane, would be that it creates people like Kat. People that stereotype it. The people that weren't born with the same positive vibes and cool energy flow that I was and all of my fellow weed smokers were. Honestly, there's so many advantages to this situation. It creates appetite, it cures insomnia, it targets brain cells that have cancer in them.
You know what else it targets? Your good brain cells. Marijuana kills brain cells. The only good vibes it'll get you are unemployment and
fun employment. Employment.
That's a stereotype.
F-U-N.
I don't want to stereotype.
Don't stereotype.
I would never stereotype.
Your type seems pretty stereoed. Check it out.
If I'm a pot smoker, doobies,
you're definitely
ingester, I'm going to be more likely to do all these other hard drugs that the kids are doing.
So you're saying marijuana is a gateway drug? You're saying marijuana is a gateway drug?
Of course it is.
It's a gateway drug.
It's a gateway drug to DUIs.
Oh, no, incorrect. Wrong. It is a gateway drug to beautiful vibes, happiness, equality. It is a gateway drug to a rainbow of pure
I think it's just
happiness.
A gateway drug to a Grateful Dead concert and maybe
Have you ever been?
Ithaca.
Ladies, let's stay on topic to the benefits and disadvantages of marijuana. We're getting a little bit off topic on that, so please stick to that.
Yes. Do your muscles hurt ever? You seem a little tense.
I am the most relaxed person ever, and I don't need marijuana.
I think I know something
relax.
that could help you
I'm
relax more.
super chill
all right,
all the time.
Excuse me, ladies. We're going to move on to the next question. If it were legalized, regulation-wise for the state or on a nationwide scale, should there be regulations? Is it like alcohol, tobacco? Catherine, what should be the regulation on marijuana? If we saw it legalized, even though we have Trump, where do we do with that?
Well, first of all, we'll never see it legalized because Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, will put a stop to that
I'm gonna take
immediately.
it
Well, if
every
it, let's
time you
theoretically
say
say it was.
If in a terrible world it was legalized, then it needs to be regulated to the drinking age. Maybe we should bring back
Do
prohibition.
you think it should be 21 years old for the
if
purchase of
not
marijuana?
31?
31
If
years
not,
old. Sarah,
yes.
what do you think about that?
Well,
There's-
you know, as we've talked about before this, I was born with a doobie in my hand. I was born in the Kush clouds. I was born perfect. I was born happy. And you know what?
Are
And
you a
wanna know-
millennial?
Am I a millennial?
Are you
Let's not
dare
bring
I say a
generations into
millennial?
this.
I'm not 31, if that's what you're asking. I'm 20 fun. But the point is that you are there's just, if it was legalized, which it will be, I hate to break the news to you, the real news to you, not fake.
We're going to be in a culture of
We're
drugs.
going to be
We're
in a
gonna be
culture of happiness and just so much good stuff.
This is a crisis of
This is
confidence.
not a crisis
This-
of.
everyone is going to get the munchies. America is going to become more obese.
Catherine, I'm going to cut you off. Now, quickly, can you tell me, the economy-wise, don't you think that it would help the economy if we had marijuana legalized?
Do you want to move to Canada, good sir? Because we don't need to tax marijuana in America just to make some money. We're gonna do this as a business. We're gonna get the national economy rolling.
Okay.
We don't need this.
Have you
All right.
met my friend
Doobie
Mary Jane?
Smoke.
Ladies,
You would
ladies,
love
ladies,
her.
ladies, I'm going to have to
to-
wrap it up. We are out of time for tonight. I am so sorry. We're going to go on a short break, but when we're back, we're going to go to our next topic, global warming. Ladies, thank you once again, and we'll see you
Is
soon.
it hot in here?